I'm speaking with Fausto Boni, am I correct? From a
Correct.
venture fund called 360 Capital Management, is based where, in Italy?
In Italy and France.
In Italy and France, yeah? And you're one of the foreign investors who was attending this Russia Tech Tour today and then tomorrow in Kazan and then the following day in Tomsk.
Absolutely.
And this is your first trip to Moscow, yes?
First trip to Moscow and first taste of the Russian venture market.
All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself very quickly, though, and tell about your fund. How long have you been investing? Where have you been investing so far?
We have been investing since '97 in many European geographies, mainly France, Italy, occasionally UK, Germany, Spain. I would say that still 70% of our investment are between France and Italy, where we have our offices. But we typically do some outside those geography investments in co-investment with other funds.
All right. And what areas are you in? Are you in software, hardware, technology?
Well, I would say anything which is innovation except biotech, which is a field we don't cover for lack of competencies in a nutshell. But ranging from internet, telco, software, clean tech, med tech.
All right. And why did you attend? Why are you here?
Well, I'm here because it's a market I didn't know, and from what I hear, is not yet too crowded with investors in our space, and so I told myself that there must be some interesting opportunity here to pursue either today or in the future.
All right. Okay. And what are your impressions so far? You've seen about a half dozen Russian companies in different stages. What's sort of your general impressions?
It's a bit too early to say, but my impression is that it's quite diverse. We have seen a very early stage company and growth companies as well, and I would say one of the things that struck me was a little bit the absence in the share capital of those companies of local investors or local VCs, which typically are when we go to other tech tours, you see, I would say, 80% of the companies that come in that have already some kind of venture funding achieved, and they are looking for some extra or some development capital.
Sure.
Here is more like either self-funded or funded from less conventional sources, at least for us.
All right. So they're earlier stage with no investor base.
Yeah, with no investor base, which is an opportunity, but also, in a sense, something that can be a bit scary for an outside investor who, is not completely familiar with the local regulation, environment, and etc. Not to have some trusted party to rely upon, in a sense, for some local follow-up of the companies.
And if you had to give, say, 1, 2, 3 recommendations to the management teams that you've seen so far, how to grow or scale up their business, any recommendations that you would give to them?
It's difficult to generalize, but I would say that some of them clearly need to think also internationally and not just confine themselves to the Russian market.
Right.
This is an obvious way to scale up, provided, however, that you have such a sufficiently distinctive technology or proposition to be applicable also to an international setting, of course. That really depends on the company.
And if you took these companies that you've seen so far, and if you put them into Italy, or if you put them into France, what would be your opinion of them in those countries versus if you saw them when you've seen them here in Russia?
I'm not sure I will consider them differently, apart from the fact that I would probably have more reference point to judge or to assess, let's say, the skills of the team and etc., which are not biased by maybe some language barrier or skills that are typically more. It's easier to conduct due diligence and to have some cross-reference checks when you are closer to the market.
Okay, right. So one of the strategies that these management teams might be able to execute is to try to give yourself, someone who's less familiar with the marketplace, doesn't really know these companies, is to give them some additional reference points on the successes that they've achieved So to give you a little bit more comfort with the marketplace,
absolutely.
Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
Nice.
This is particularly important if you don't have, let's say, a local investor who can give you this comfort in a sense.
Okay. And what kinds of reference points would you be looking for? What kinds of information would you be seeking?
Well, on the management team itself, what they did in the past, what they achieved, where have they, how was this project, how was this project created in the very beginning? It's kind of important to know the background of any kind of project or company to look when you look at it and you say, well, where is this coming from?
Yeah. And one of the things that I've noticed in the presentations is that they still tend to be very heavy on technology, less so on markets, customers, and the management team themselves.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I was listening to some panel before where somebody mentioned that, last year they had like more than 5,000 patents granted in Russia, and then just five of those companies never brought a product to the market. So that says a lot about the focus on technologies.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to speak with us.
Many thanks.
And what we'd like to be able to do, if we can, is to revisit with you when you come back from Tomsk, and after seeing these 25 companies, your impressions might be the same, or you maybe got some additional recommendations for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I hope. Bye.